My God, here I am again, on the world stage, wearing my best smile. It's a well-rehearsed smile. I practice it every day in front of the mirror until it looks almost natural. I adjust the angle, the height of my cheeks, the sparkle in my eyes. It's a work of art, this mask I've created, and it works. People buy it, they smile back, they say, "It's so good to see you looking so well." And I nod, I agree, and I say the phrase that has become my mantra and my greatest lie. "I'm fine. Thank you." And as the words leave my mouth, a silent scream echoes inside. A scream that only you can hear. I'm not fine, my God, nothing is fine. This smile is heavy, Lord. It's as heavy as a lead plate. The muscles in my face ache with the tension of holding it in place. Sometimes, I feel as if little fissures are forming on the surface, hairline cracks through which my true pain threatens to escape. I feel them near my eyes, at the corners of my mouth, and I live in constant panic that someone, looking closer, might see them. That someone might notice the glint in my eyes isn't from joy, but the feverish sheen of tears that can never fall. Internal tears. That's what I have. An ocean of tears dammed up behind my eyes. They don't roll down my face. They flow inward, flooding my chest, soaking my soul, slowly drowning my hope. And while I smile and talk about the weather, about work, about trivial things, I feel this flood rising. And my silent prayer is a desperate plea for you not to let me drown. Lord, do you see what happens beneath the skin? Because beneath this smiling skin, there is a hemorrhage that does not cease. It is a slow, steady bleeding from a wound no one has ever seen. A wound I hide myself out of shame, out of a fear of being a burden, out of not knowing how to explain a pain that has no name, no shape, no visible scar. I bleed on the inside. I lose my life, my color, my essence, drop by drop, with every forced smile, every lying, "I'm fine." And no one notices. They see my face and think I am whole, but I am a broken vessel, carefully glued together on the outside to hide that inside I am empty and that my vital contents are draining away into some dark place where no one can see. The performance is exhausting, my God, oh how exhausting it is. It demands constant concentration. I must modulate my voice so it doesn't sound weak. I must control my breathing so it doesn't seem like a sigh. I must choose my words so they don't betray the darkness that inhabits me. It's like being an actor in a play that never ends, playing a role I detest for an audience I love too much to disappoint. And when the play ends for the day, when I finally get home and close the door, the relief I should feel doesn't come. Because taking off the mask is an act of immense pain. The smile drops, and my face seems to fall apart, the muscles finally relaxing into a grimace of pure pain. And the silence of my home is filled with the sound of my internal bleeding, a sound that only I, and I hope you, can hear. I look in the mirror and I don't recognize myself. Who is this person with hollow eyes and pale skin? Where is the one who was smiling so convincingly just a few minutes ago? The transition is so fast, so violent, it makes me dizzy. Which one am I, Lord? The smiling actor or the wounded soul? And if I am both, how can I live with this civil war inside of me? My prayer is silent because I'm afraid that if I open my mouth to truly pray, instead of words, a howl will come out, an animal sound of pure pain that would frighten the world and myself. So I pray with my thoughts. I pray with the pulsing of my wound. Every painful beat of my heart is a syllable of my cry. I ask you, my God, for your merciful gaze to penetrate this facade. May you see beyond the smile, beyond the skin, beyond the bones. May you see the source of this hemorrhage. May you see the tears that flood my soul. People touch me, hug me, shake my hand, but no one feels the fever of my pain. No one feels the tremor beneath my apparent calm. No one sees the abyss I skirt with every step. But you, Lord, you who search hearts and minds, you who know the number of hairs on my head, you can see me, you can know me. And that is my only hope. The hope of being truly seen by someone. The hope that in your gaze, I don't have to pretend. That before you, my pain is not invisible. That your love can be the first dressing on this wound that bleeds without end. I keep smiling, Lord, even now, as I speak to you in silence. The habit is strong, but I ask you, look at the fissures, look at the cracks, and before I shatter completely, please hold me, show me that you see, show me that you care, because I don't know how much longer I can hold this smile. And I'm so afraid of what will happen when it finally breaks and the door closes. The sound of the latch clicking into place is the loudest, most definitive sound of my day. It's the end of the show. The curtain has fallen, the audience has gone home, and I am here, alone in my dressing room, which is also my prison cell. The first sigh of relief is so deep it makes me dizzy. I didn't realize I'd been holding my breath all day. And with the exhale, the smile dissolves. It doesn't fade gently, it shatters. I feel the muscles in my face fall, and the pain that sets in is the pain of liberation, like that of a limb, long numb, having its circulation restored. It hurts, but it's the pain of life, not of paralysis. I drag myself through the house, each step a monumental effort. My body, which seemed so upright and confident outside, now stoops, hunched under the invisible weight I carry. I lean on the walls like an old man, like a wounded soldier. And the war, Lord, is this one, the one I wage every day against myself to appear normal. I arrive at the bathroom mirror, my confidant and my executioner. I don't turn on the main light, only the small night light, because I'm afraid to see the damage clearly. And in the dimness, I see him, my other self, the face without the mask. And the contrast terrifies me. The eyes, which were smiling moments ago, are now two craters of exhaustion. The mouth, once curved upward, is now a straight, hard line of bitterness. The fissures I felt forming now seem visible under the skin, as if my face were a landscape of parched earth begging for rain. And the rain comes, a single tear. It wells up in the corner of my eye, hesitant, as if it doesn't know the way. And then it flows, hot, slow. And this single tear, my God, seems to carry the weight of an ocean. In it are all the tears I swallowed, all the sorrows I disguised, all the pains I silenced. It traces a path down my cheek, a clean line on my weary skin, and its salty taste in my mouth is the taste of my own soul. It is my Eucharist of pain, offered to you in the silence of my broken sanctuary, and I ask you, Lord, without a sound. This is me. This is the real me, without the sparkle, without the jokes, without the strength everyone admires. Is this the face you love too? Or do you prefer the other one, the one that's easier to look at, the one that doesn't cause you trouble? Because this is my greatest fear, that my pain is an inconvenience, not just to the world, but to you, that my wound is repulsive. And speaking of the wound, now I can feel it without distractions. The internal bleeding seems to intensify in the quiet. It's a dull ache in the center of my being, a pain that doesn't throb, it just is, a constant presence. And now, alone with you, I can finally look at it. I close my eyes, not to sleep, but to journey inward. And I invite you to come with me. Come, my God. Let me show you where the blood is coming from. And I take you to the secret places of my heart, to the room of disappointments, where broken promises lie like old, dusty furniture, to the gallery of losses, where the faces of those who have gone still smile from portraits on the wall, and the grief is a cut that never closes. I show you the basement of fear, where my failures and insecurities are chained, snarling at me in the dark. And I show you the primary wound, the source of it all. The belief, settled in me like a parasite, that I am not good enough, that I need to perform to be loved, that my true self, this bleeding being, is unworthy of love. And I ask you, physician of the soul, can you heal this? Do you have the medicine for this poison I drink every day? Do you have the needle and thread to suture this hemorrhage that is emptying me? Taking this tour of my own desolation is the hardest and most honest thing I have ever done. It is my confession, not of specific sins, but of the sin of having believed the lie of my unworthiness more than the truth of your love, of having built an idol, my smiling self, and having worshipped it instead of trusting the self you created. The silence in my apartment is absolute, and in it, my vulnerability is total. I am naked before you. The mask has fallen, the armor is on the floor, and I am here, shivering with cold and fear. And my prayer now is a plea for your faithfulness. Do not look away, Lord, now that you see my ugliness, my mess, my raw pain. Please do not leave. Stay with me in the darkness, just as you stayed with me in the artificial light I created. Wrap me in your presence. Let it be the blanket that warms my cold soul. Let your love be the antiseptic that cleans my wound, even if it stings. I am not asking you to make me smile again now. It would be too soon. It would be another lie. I ask you for something much deeper. Teach me how to weep. Teach me how to bleed in your presence until the wound is empty of all infection. Teach me how to be silent with you until I learn to distinguish your voice from the voice of fear. The performance is over, Lord, and I have no script for what comes next. I only have you. Please be my director, my guide, my only audience, and let the first act of this new play be just this: me in silence before you, finally allowing myself to be just who I am, and hoping, for the first time, that it is enough. And so I remain, my God, in this silence that follows the confession. A silence where I expect the verdict, the judgment, your revulsion. After showing you the darkest corners of my soul, the rot I hide beneath the varnish of my smile, I expect you to turn away. It's what humans do, after all. We turn away from what is too complicated, too painful, too broken. But you do not turn away. In the quiet of my heart, I don't feel a retreat. I feel the opposite. I feel a drawing near. A presence that leans into my pain, not with curiosity, but with a compassion so deep, it's almost palpable. You were not disgusted, Lord. You did not recoil. You looked at my wound with the eyes of a healer, not a judge. And this reaction from you, this unconditional acceptance of my chaos, is the true beginning of healing. It is the balm that begins to soothe the inflamed skin of my soul. I've spent my whole life so afraid that if anyone found out the truth about me, they would abandon me. And I applied that same logic to you. And now, in practice, at the moment of my greatest exposure, you show me how wrong I was. Your love does not depend on my performance. Your love is not a prize for the strong and smiling. Your love is a hospital for the wounded, a refuge for those who bleed. And I understand with a painful clarity the root of my sickness. The smile wasn't just a mask to hide the pain. It was a wall to protect me from rejection. I built that fortress brick by brick of false I'm fines to keep people at a safe distance, so no one could get close enough to see my weakness and hurt me. But the tragic irony, Lord, is that this same wall that protected me from pain from the outside imprisoned me with the pain that was already inside. It let no one in, but it also let none of my own pain out, and I became the prisoner of my own defense. Help me, my God, to tear down this wall. It's a task that terrifies me. I don't know how to live without it. Vulnerability seems like an open field without trenches, where I would be at the mercy of any attack. But you show me that true security isn't in the walls build, but in your presence that inhabits me. If you are with me, what army can prevail against me? If your love covers me, what arrow of rejection can mortally wound me? And now that I understand, now that your light has illuminated my cell, I ask you to move forward. I ask you to touch the wound. I lie down on your operating table, the table of your mercy, and I surrender. Touch it, Lord. Touch the source of the bleeding. I imagine your hands, a carpenter's hands, strong and calloused from work, but infinitely gentle. Hands that touched lepers, that lifted the fallen, that blessed children. And I feel these hands touching the center of my being. The touch is not magical. There's no flash of light that erases the pain instantly. On the contrary, your touch seems to stir the pain, to bring it to the surface. It stings. It stings like alcohol on an open wound. Because your love does not ignore the infection, it drives it out. And as it stings, I weep. The tears that began as a single lonely thread now run freely, washing my face, my neck, soaking the collar of my shirt. And they are tears of pain, yes, but also of purification. Every tear is a bit of the poison leaving me. Every sob is a piece of the wall crumbling. I weep for my loneliness, my fatigue, my losses, my self-rejection. I weep for everything in the safety of your invisible embrace, and I ask you, staunch this bleeding, my God. May your loving touch cauterize the ruptured vessels of my soul. May your Holy Spirit begin to weave new skin, new flesh, where there was only a hole. I don't ask for the scar to disappear. I want to remember this wound, not with bitterness, but with gratitude. May the scar be an eternal memorial to the day I stopped smiling and started healing. May it remind me forever that my strength comes not from my ability to hide pain, but from your ability to redeem it. I'm learning a new definition of strength, Lord. The world taught me that being strong is needing no one, is enduring everything in silence. And you show me that true strength is the courage to be vulnerable, the strength to say, I can't do this anymore, the strength to ask for help, the strength to weep without shame in the presence of love. Thank you for this lesson. Thank you for turning my concept of strength upside down. Thank you for teaching me that true strength is not in the smile I maintain, but in the tear I finally allow myself to cry before you. The crying begins to subside, the sobs quiet down, and in the place of the sharp pain, a peace settles, a tired peace, like the peace that follows a high fever. I am not euphoric, I am not happy, but I am at peace. The hemorrhage seems to have lessened. The flow has turned into a slow trickle. The flood in my chest has begun to recede. And then I breathe. I inhale deeply. And for the first time in years, the air doesn't seem to stop in my throat. It goes down, fills my lungs, expands my chest. It is a full breath, an authentic breath, the breath of someone who is no longer hiding, who is no longer performing. It is the first breath of a new life. I am still broken, I am still wounded. But for the first time, I feel that healing is possible, because I have finally stopped trying to heal myself and have placed myself in the hands of the only physician who can truly restore a soul. My God, in this tired peace that settles in my soul, I feel your silence as an answer. A silence not of absence, but of work. Like the silence of a focused surgeon, of a potter with his hands in the clay. I feel you are gathering my broken pieces, cleaning my wounds, weaving something new on the loom of my heart. And the gratitude I feel is as overwhelming as the pain was a short time ago. Thank you for not abandoning me in my performance, and for not abandoning me in my brokenness. Thank you for loving the two me's that live within me, and for promising me with this peace that one day they can be one. But Lord, the door to my room will not stay closed forever. The sun is already rising outside, and I know that tomorrow will come. And with it, temptation. The temptation to look for the mask I dropped on the floor. It's over there in the corner, a pathetic yet so familiar object. My hand almost moves instinctively towards it, because it is safety. It is the known path. It is the armor that, while it suffocated me, also protected me from the world's discomfort. And a new fear is born in me, Lord. The fear of not being able to live without it. The fear that at the first questioning glance from a colleague, at the first superficial question from a family member, I will put it back on, out of habit, out of reflex. And then, this whole process, all this pain and healing, will have been in vain. Therefore, my prayer now is for the future, for the hours to come. Give me the strength not to face the world, but to face myself. Give me the courage to leave the mask on the floor. Help me to step on it, to break it into 1,000 pieces, so the temptation to use it again is lessened. And teach me how to live without a false face. How is that done, my God? I don't know. I only know the language of performance. I need a new language, a new way of being. Teach me the language of authenticity. Teach me to smile again. Not the wide, hollow smile I used as a shield, but a smile that can be born from a heart that is still healing. Perhaps a small smile that doesn't reach my eyes at first. A smile of gratitude for a small joy, a ray of sunshine, a bird's song. A smile that doesn't deny the existence of the scars, but proves that life can flourish around them. And the fissures, Lord, those cracks I felt in my skin, I no longer want to fear them. I want to reframe them. May they no longer be the cracks where my pain leaks out in secret, but may they become the crevices through which your light can both enter me and also shine out from me to touch others. May my own brokenness make me more compassionate. Having known the depths of invisible pain, may I develop a more attentive eye for the invisible pain of others. May I see beyond their smiles, just as I asked you to see beyond mine. Perhaps my greatest mission is not to be perfectly healed, but to be a wounded healer who uses his own scars as a map to guide others out of the darkness. And for that, I need a courage that goes beyond closing the door, the courage to open it, the courage to face the world not with a mask, but with an honest face. A face that might look sad some days, tired on others, but one that is always true. Give me the strength, my God, for the next time someone asks, "Are you okay?" May I not automatically answer with the usual lie. May I be able to pause, take a deep breath, and perhaps say in a calm voice, "I'm walking through it. Today is a hard day, but I'm walking." Maybe they won't understand. Maybe they'll feel uncomfortable. But I need to trust that the truth, however uncomfortable, is healthier than the lie that was killing me. I need to trust that true connection with others is not born from our shared perfection, but from our mutual vulnerability. I commit to you here and now to try to live one day at a time without the performance, to choose authenticity over approval, to care for my wound, allowing your love to keep it clean, to not be ashamed of my tears, but to see them as a way of watering the garden of my soul. The journey is long. I know. Healing is not an event. It's a process. There will be days when I will fall, when the temptation of the mask will be too strong. On those days, I ask that you remind me of this night. of this encounter with you in my dark room, of the feeling of your healing touch, of the taste of my first honest tear, of the relief of my first authentic breath. I look out the window and see the first rays of sun painting the sky. And, for the first time in a long time, I don't feel the panic of the impending performance. I feel a cautious calm, a curiosity about what it will be like to live this day as the new me that is being born, a me that has bled, that has wept, that has been seen by God, and that because of that can finally begin to live. The smile on my face at this moment is small, fragile, and true, and it is the most beautiful prayer I have ever made. Amen. If this prayer lit a light in your soul, subscribe so we can continue this journey of faith together. Leave your like so that this message may find other hearts seeking comfort. And share it with someone who needs to hear these words, turning your listening into an act of love.